Well, good afternoon everyone. My name's Karyn Murray. I'm from eLearning Studios and I'm the instructional designer there. So I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon to tell you about the e-learning course, which is a sort of companion tool, if you like, for vocational trainers, teachers, and perhaps IT developers who've got an interest in developing serious games for people with different needs. So about a couple of years ago, myself and some of my colleagues here, Lucia, Jacqueline, Rachel, who are in the room, we came up with an idea for a serious game. And I think from the discussions here today, we could also look at developing further projects to enhance what we've done within this project, expand on the ideas and develop it further and further in future projects. But we came up with the idea for a serious game. We tried and tested the ideas with stakeholders and learners. So we got people with autism to try it out. We got vocational teachers and trainers to try the game out. We've got employers, and we got lots and lots of feedback about what we did. So we developed it, tested it again, developed it some more until we finally made it. And Lucia's given you a taste this afternoon of what that final game looks like, and it's something you'll all be able to use with the people that you work with, hopefully, and will make use of it. So with all this hard work over the last couple of years, we didn't want the game to sort of grow old, sit on a shelf, not be used by people. We wanted very much that teachers and trainers would use it, and they need to know how to use it. Not everybody's very familiar with serious games, so understanding what serious games are, how they can be beneficial, perhaps how they're developed and how they're integrated into teaching practice or could be, was something we wanted to provide for people. So some of you will want to just have the game and get stuck in and have a go on your own, but other people might feel they need a bit more support and help and guidance in how to use the game and understanding more about serious games and so on. So that's why we decided to create this e-learning course. So the e-learning course itself consists of 3 modules. The first one is a basic introduction and an overview of serious games. The second module is about using the iSpectrum game and integrating it into your teaching practice. And the third module is about designing an idea for a serious game and actually experiencing a 3D serious game yourself. So each of these modules will take between, say, half an hour to a couple of hours or even longer. We've designed it to be very flexible so it can work around your needs and your work commitments and time commitments. So you could whiz through the e-learning modules quite quickly, or you could spend more time on them. You could spend time doing further research. There's lots of links. There's tools within the e-learning modules as well. So dependent on your level of interest in this area, you can do as sort of little or as much as you want. But as I say, I would say about sort of 6 hours to do the entire e-learning course quite well is as much time as you'll need to commit to it. So what's actually covered in the e-learning course? I'll just tell you in a little bit more detail about each of the 3 modules. So as I say, module 1 is basically an introduction to serious games, but hopefully you've actually had a bit of that today. A bit on how computers have changed the lives of people with autism and why serious games can work well for people with autism, and how they may also help to improve social interaction skills in the workplace. And that's followed by examples of serious games as well. And these are things that are the tools and resources that you can look at, and you might even want to use some of these other examples we've included in the e-learning course within your work. And it will give you a sort of a range of the different types of serious games that are available. So here on the screen, we've just got a few screenshots from the first module. The way the e-learning course works, you don't have to have any super technical skills, just some internet access, some headphones or speakers because there's an audio voiceover over the top, and being able to use your mouse to sort of click through interactions, find out information, go to different web links if you want to find out more, and so on. Module 2 is an introduction to the iSpectrum game in a little bit more detail. It goes through step-by-step how the game works, so you as a trainer or supporter of people can have a really good understanding of the game before you actually use it to work with perhaps some of your students or clients. And then we've got various ideas on how you can integrate a serious game into your teaching practice and examples of how the iSpectrum game can be used. Now, this information was based upon us talking to lots of vocational trainers and showing them the game, getting them to try it out, and them giving us ideas on how they would use it within their practice. So you can get a sort of taster of other people's ideas and opinions on how it could be used within teaching practice. So again, a few more screenshots of that particular module. Module 3 is a little bit different to the other two modules in that this is very much about the development of serious games and understanding the development process, and also getting a personal experience of using a 3D game yourself. I have to say that they're not as advanced as some of the ones we saw earlier, but nonetheless it gives an experience of a simple 3D game, and I'll just give you a quick video demo of that in a moment. So you have various tasks within Module 3. One is to experience the 3D game. Another task is to create an idea for your own serious game. The third task is to understand the development process of a serious game, so that if you wanted to get involved in a project, you'd understand that process. If you wanted to present an idea for a game for development within a future project, then you could do. And also, for those of you that have the interest in doing so, there are also tools so you can create your own serious games, if that's something for you. Now, the tools we've included in this game are very simple to use. You don't need complicated programming or coding skills, and they're very much authoring tools for non-technical people. So they are things that you could actually try out yourself if you so choose to. So the actual 3D game part of the e-learning course is about going to visit a serious game studio. And I'll just get that on the screen for you. Hopefully it works. Or not. No. Oh. Do I have to wait a second, do I? Just wind it up. So, is it going to work in the moment?
There you go. Yeah. Takes a while. Sorry about this. You've got 12 versions now.
Sorry about that.
Did you click it more than once?
Yes. Just a couple of times.
Little tip of using QuickTime. Apparently, one click works. I don't know. Just there you go.
Thank you, Pete.
No worries.
My IT guru. Okay, so what this game is all about, it's a very simple game. The idea is you go to visit a 3D game studio, and you go around the game studio and you meet all sorts of different characters that are involved in the serious game development process. You can talk to them, communicate with them, and when you find out information, then you ask questions, and you also have to collect a series of objects as you go through the game. So once you've spoken to everybody, so hopefully by speaking to everyone you've got a good understanding of each steps of the process in developing a serious game, you've answered the questions, and you've collected the objects, then you'll have completed the game. So it won't take too long to do. Hopefully you'll learn something from it as well. And this is the sort of thing that you can create yourselves as well. This is one of the tools that's included within the e-learning course. for you to be able to use. And they have sort of free versions of these tools, so they don't cost anything either. So in using this 3D game, basically when you're moving around, you just use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and it's sort of as simple as that. There's lots of instructions throughout, so it's very simple to go through, even if you've not really done gaming before, or even if you're not a particularly technical person. Okay. So that concludes a sort of very quick tour of the 3D part of the e-learning course. And once you've been to visit the 3D Serious Games studio, there's a number of tasks that you'll be invited to do as well as part of the course afterwards. So we've tried to add some sort of challenge and also some realism in, because we want the tasks to relate to your workplace as well and your work situation. So for those of you that like to sort of be recognised for sort of the work that you put into your own personal development and education, it's possible to gain a certificate through this e-learning course by completing a simple e-course workbook as you go through the course. It's not very difficult, it's answering simple questions and coming up with ideas and so on, and making notes of those within the workbook. And then you can get this certificate at the end. So that's mainly the e-learning course, the 3 modules. These are available at least till the end of the year without any cost. They're funded by the European Commission through the Lifelong Learning Programme, so please use them. But we then had a thought. How about if we also created a learning network so that teachers, trainers and developers across Europe could share ideas? So not only do the e-learning modules, but as a result of that, perhaps share and exchange ideas on how you've used the tool, resources you use, making connections and perhaps partnerships for projects in the future. So, having access to a really wide audience across Europe, we thought we'd like to facilitate that process. So this is something else that you can join. So the iSpectrum Learning Network, if you have a look at this screenshot here, you'll see this is one of the pages of our website. So you go to www.ispectrum.eu, and at the top of the page you'll see a tab with Learning Network on it, and you'll just click on there and you'll come to a page where you can basically register, create your own username and login password and so on, and then you can actually access the Learning Network. So at the moment I've just got a screen print, a very quick one. We haven't got really any content in there yet because we're not launching it till just under a month's time. But once we do, we're hoping at least everybody in this room will sign up and join in and share and perhaps have discussions, share information about events, methodologies, resources, tools you've used, and sort of help and support each other. Is our sort of aim and our vision for it. So the e-learning course and the learning network are coming soon. We're just making some final adjustments and tests and so on to the e-learning course and the learning network. But we've got a date for your diary here of the 16th of July. And if it's okay with everybody, we'll send an email out to everybody that's attended today, just as a little reminder to have a look. Go on the Learning Network, register, sign up and have a look and access to the e-learning modules. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. If anyone has any questions.